Hello everybody. The last time you saw me was on that awful Morbius movie review. Now we are on to something much better. We are on Sonic the Hedgehog 2, to be precise, which I thought was a really good film to see. So let's go into the Sonic verse. So let's see here. We have James Marsden as Tom or Donut Lord, as I'm sure you remember him better as. Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik, of course. Ben Schwartz as Sonic. Tika Sumter as Maddie W. Idris Elba as Knuckles. Natasha Rothwell as Rachel. Adam Pally as Wade, the silly cop. Shimmer Moore as Randall. Lee Majub as Agent Stone. Pauline O'Shaughnessy as Tails. Tom Butler as Commander Walters. Donna and Jay Fawkes as Longclaw. Oh, here we go. So, and director Jeff Fowler. So the movie opens with like a mushroom scene, like you're in the mushroom world and you get to see like the daily life of Dr. Robotnik, pretty much, him going nuts, trying to figure out a way to get off the planet, and the intro sequence is just funny as hell. Like he's trying to sit there and just eat like some mushroom soup stuff, or mushroom juice, and you just keep spitting it out. And then it kinda, then he kind of tries out various things, but then eventually you get Knuckles shows up, and it's just like Knuckles shows up after his like little henchmen get defeated or whatever. Knuckles the last Akira, pretty much, and he shows up and he's just like, Dr. Robotnik says, I want to destroy, like, Knuckles is like, I'm trying to remember correctly, he's like, where did you get that? And because he's looking at the hair that Dr. Robotnik has, and he says, oh, the blue hedgehog, I know where he is. And Knuckles is like, take me to him. And then it cuts away to Sonic and the gang, pretty much. Donut Lord and Maddie are getting ready for a wedding for Rachel. Rachel's wedding with Criminal Minds alumnus Shimmer Moore, pretty much, and Shimmer Moore is just basically outclassing Donut Lord like almost everything. I don't know how they got him. I suppose they must have convinced Shimmer Moore to come in one way or the other, but man, is it nice to see him do some acting outside of Criminal Minds. He's such a good actor in that series. Definitely a classic series, go watch it. I really can't give a proper review on it because I haven't seen all the seasons, but from what I've seen of it, it's a really good series. Obviously, there's that whole Agent Hotchner nonsense, of course, that happens, which I'm not going to get into. Okay. Alright, Lee Majub. So basically, like Lee Majub is, basically, Agent Stone is just really kind of bummed that Dr. Robotnik is gone. Eventually comes back, and their whole mean coffee shop turns into Robotnik's lair again. And they start looking around for the Master Emerald, because that's the central focus of this film, is who's going to find the Master Emerald first. Sonic's just kind of partying at home. Dr. Robotnik first shows up with some classic callback to old horror movies or old scary Halloween films. Stand in the doorway, thunderclouds, all that. They have some witty banter between each other, Sonic and Dr. Robotnik. Eventually you have Knuckles show up and he just absolutely just takes Sonic to school. He just takes him out. Sonic's just basically just kind of pummeled. Sonic just gets beaten. Tails Tails shows up and just comes to the rescue. Little cop car bumps like Knuckles with the cop car pretty much. Dr. Robotnik pretty much summons the drones, I want to say. At this point, Sonic just defeats him, like he always does, and Knuckles and Sonic kind of just bash each other. Knuckles is chasing Sonic, Tails in the cop car. Cop car goes over a cliff. Tails saves Sonic by flying. Sonic's just kind of like, what? And basically Sonic gets away, Knuckles gets saved pretty much. Tails and Sonic basically start on their little search to figure out what's going on. They find a map left by Longclaw. Hologram of Longclaw shows up and basically tells them what they need to do to find the Master Emerald. They gotta go find the compass, which leads them to Siberia. Basically, and Tails is trying to figure out how to translate stuff and ends up saying the wrong stuff. After the soup translation goes well, but then after that the translator just gets it wrong, and then there's like a dance battle between Sonic, Tails, and this other like Siberian guy that's really good at dancing. Like, this is after they try to throw him in the fire or whatnot. Basically, they just go ham with this scene, and they do a lot of dancing, a lot of holographic projections. It's like so good. I really don't want to talk about it too much because I don't really want it to spoil for you guys. But it's really good. You'll like it. After that, we have some shots of the wedding scene, which I don't think really anybody cares about. Really, like, I understand that they want to include these characters in here to kind of build up the whole family theme of the film, but I just kind of felt like so many others that they're kind of shoehorned in there. We have this whole more comparison scenes between Shimmermore and Donut Lord, of course, Tom. Basically, Randall is basically outclassing Donut Lord, pretty much. Kind of a hilarious bit, pretty much, and Rachel's kind of telling Donut Lord, don't mess up my wedding, so I'm gonna do something to you, pretty much. Sonic and Tails basically covering in Siberia. They go to the chamber where the compass is, find it, get ambushed by Dr. Robotnik again. Dr. Robotnik pretty much just sweeps the floor with them. Knuckles just beats Sonic again. Knuckles is starting to see that Dr. Robotnik is really dishonorable, and Knuckles really values honor and character. Really values that a lot in an ally. Dr. Robotnik's starting to show that he's not really honorable, because let's face it, he's the main villain of the story. Like, you'd have to be living under a rock to not think that Knuckles was not going to join Sonic eventually. Alright. So, where are we? So, basically after that, Sonic and Tails take off back toward... No, let me stop for a minute. Sonic and Knuckles face off again. Tails tries to help, but it kind of fails a bit at that. Then there's an avalanche scene, basically, where they're trying to get away from Robotnik. Robotnik's just sweeping, again, just kind of having the upper hand here. And this time it ends more in a draw, pretty much. You see some of Tails' gadgets pretty much in use here. Eventually, Avalanche basically goes critical, right? And Tails gets knocked out. Sonic basically has to get up and kind of run away. We'll kind of having a little snowboarding scene play out there for a bit. Robotnik again saves Knuckles at the last minute again. Sonic pretty much is running away, and we have the scene where he's trying to where they're in the middle of the wedding ceremony. Like there's this kind of scene in a lot of films where there's like a wedding ceremony and somebody's phone goes off and it's getting interrupted. Basically getting interrupted quite a bit. And Donut Lord is trying to sit there and silence his phone over and over again. Sonic texts him and he's just trying to and Donut Lord's just trying to get away from the ceremony. Rachel's just very, very mad right now at Donut Lord. She's like looking at him, and then eventually Sonic's like trying to tell Donut Lord, you gotta get the ring, you gotta throw the ring. And because there was a little ring swap earlier, which you'll find out in the film, Donut Lord basically has to go run to the altar and get the ring off Rachel, and they're like fighting over it. Like Rachel are fighting Donut Lord over the ring. Eventually the ring gets thrown. Tails and Sonic come tumbling out of the snow, basically, and then you have a double cross basically occur at this point. I'll let you figure that out in the film yourself. Figure out who does what, and eventually we get a whole scene of Tails' gadgets being used over and over again on the double crossers, and the double crossers just really aren't having a fun time trying to fight off an angry Rachel. Angry Rachel basically just kind of steals the show with Maddie, and they basically just go and take out those backstabbers over and over again. They just keep going at them with different gadgets. It's really a hilarious sequence. It's like a little power scene that they threw in there just to have a little fun with or whatever. I don't mind those scenes, honestly. They did a good job with it. It wasn't like Ghostbusters 2016 where it was forced. Because honestly, that film felt like really bad. Honestly. So going back to the main plot here, Sonic sees like what's going on. Like Dr. Robotnik basically succeeds in getting the Master okay, spoilers. Obviously, Dr. Robotnik succeeds at getting the Master Emerald at this point. And he just basically goes ham and starts going nuts. Like, there's a bunch of cool effects that they do with Jim Carrey's voice, and they just basically have too much fun with that. There's a lot of tension building up. Dr. Robotnik's trying to figure out what he's going to do. Basically creates a giant mech. Basically just take out Sonic with. It's a cool scene. Like, the inside of it kind of looks like a Death Star a little bit. It's really cool overall. You can't go wrong with this scene at all. It's so good. Robotnik's basically getting ready for battle, and it's just having an easy time just taking out, like, just really just him and Agent Stoner just having fun times basically. Then there's a scene before where they're like confronting like everybody, but not really adding much to the plot at that point. You get like a giant mech scene between Sonic and Robotnik, and there's some good reveals there, callbacks to earlier Sonic games, and here and there. Nice end credit scene with one of my favorite Sonic characters that I can't wait to see in the next film that I'm not going to spoil. Overall, a 10 out of 10 for me. Like, even an 11 out of 10 if I can even do that. There is like legitimately like hardly any criticism I can throw on this film. Like, I wish it was actually a little bit longer and we got some more explanation of what they're doing in the end credit scene, but they don't really explain that, of course. But yeah, I mean, you're not going to be disappointed. Go see it in theaters over Morbius any day. Morbius, bad film. I'm sure you've already seen my review on Morbius. So, have a great day, and I hope you enjoyed this film review. Go see Sonic. It is worth it. Don't wait. Marcus Theaters, $5 Tuesdays. You can't beat it. Have a good one. And no, nobody paid me to say that. I just like Marcus. Go to there a lot.